Well, it's time to build a new computer for the studio. The existing system is about 4 years old and it just won't keep up anymore. I plan to upgrade to the Spitfire Albion Symphonic series of samples for this upcoming Pedal Giant Animals project, and I will be running Contact 5, and I'm just going to have too large a sample library to be running on the existing machine. Also, these backstage and the normal YouTube videos that I've been making have a lot of video editing work in the computer, and the processing time is slow, to say the least. A lot of the backstage videos I have to leave the computer running overnight to render the finished MP4s. So hopefully this will improve my computer experience all the way around and give us a better quality product to put on the Crafty Hinge Studio website. So for the new computer, I have chosen the Asus X99 Deluxe motherboard. This is the new X99 profile. It has pretty much everything I need. The new 2011-3 socket will let me put a really nice processor in it, and it has very nice fan control. It has a one-step overclocking, which I don't really think I'm going to overclock this computer, but I might, since I have the capability. We'll see if I have time to experiment with that. I did go with some aftermarket cooling for the CPU, which I'll show you later, just in case I do want to try overclocking. There's a really nice video that I found on here describing this motherboard in more detail. The guys from Asus sat down and give a very nice description of all the features. It took about 20 minutes, I believe, in this video, and I can't seem to find it at the moment. But if you look for it, you'll be able to find the video describing everything about this motherboard if you're so inclined or interested in the nitty-gritty of this really nice Asus X99 board. Now for the processor, I went with an Intel i7, the 5820K Haswell. This is a 6-core processor and has 28 lanes on the PCI bus, so it should scream. It should be extremely fast. It runs at 3.3 gigahertz, easily overclocked to up to 4. I've seen people say 4.5 gigahertz. I don't know for sure if I will try overclocking. The system setup should run very smoothly at 3.3 gigahertz. If I notice that I have any bottlenecks in speed anywhere in the finished system, I might try some overclocking. For memory, the new X99 board has DDR4 RAM, which is the latest generation, 288-pin DDR4 SD RAM, and it should really scream as well. I'm putting 32 gigabytes of RAM in the machine, powering it with the Roosevelt Photon 1050 watts. Has lots of pigtail hookups for everything I'll need. This is a gold certified. Should be fairly reliable. Now for video, I had a really hard time. I was looking for a card that would give me 3 HDMI outs. I could not find one. This particular card has 2 HDMI outs, and then it has the DVI and one other connector. I can run my 3 monitors easily. It says it will support up to 4 monitors here. 2 gigabytes of memory, and has one cooling fan built in. This runs off the PCI bus. I was having difficulty. The monitor I'm looking at now is a 1080 resolution monitor, and I had to add that to my existing 3 monitors because they were 1440 by 920, I believe, and I'm using the Opage Rocket for recording my screen video so I could keep it separate from the computer. I did a separate gear review on that, and as it turns out, I needed to get a better quality. Instead of converting the resolution from my lower resolution existing monitors, I had to buy a 1080p monitor, which I have mounted on top of the other three, and it's really stressful for my neck to sit and stare up at this thing all the time. So I'm eliminating the 3 smaller monitors, and I got 2 more of the Samsung monitors. Oops, where are these? Not Samsung, excuse me, these Acers. They're relatively inexpensive, and that way I'll go back to having just the 3 monitors across the bottom at a comfortable viewing area. A little bit wider footprint, but at least I won't have my neck hurting from staring up at this monitor all the time. For the operating system and programs, I'm going to use the Samsung 850 solid state drive. It's the SATA 3 version. Has really good reviews, so that should give me super fast access time to my programs. It should boot up in 15-20 seconds max. Here's the cooler, the Arctic freezer. I had picked a water cooler first to put on it, but since I decided that I would not be extreme overclocking even if I did it all, I stepped down from the $100 cooling solution to this I think $47, and it should allow me to do some overclocking and still keep it really cool in there. I bought a 120mm quiet fan for the front of my old server case. There's the monitor. I needed a new DVD burner, CD burner. Nothing remarkable about these. Seems to be pretty reliable. These things are pretty cheap. They should just give them to you with the cases now. Then I bought another solid state drive to install for my sample streaming, 240 gigabytes. This is a different brand from the Samsung. The sample library recommended this, the Spitfire site, so I decided I would go with their recommendation, and I've read good reviews from other music server users, so we're going to give it a shot. I have a couple of 1 terabyte SATA drives that I'm going to install just for nightly backups also in the server, so there will be 2 solid state drives and 2 hard drives. And that's it for speccing the system. It came in at about $2,100 for all the parts. Credit card's melting. But if I'm going to do this, I want to do it right, and I can't do it right unless I have the right gear. So this is a necessary evil in the modern studio, keeping up with the tech. I'll do a separate video on the actual build, and I'll do some more videos on the software I'm installing in the new system. And hope you enjoyed watching. Come back, check out the rest as the build progresses.